That was a wild move there. We won't do that. Hello everyone, Tom here, and welcome to ACC. Yes, we're taking a break from Assetto Corsa Evo's early access period, and that's because I have a league race here in ACC at Silverstone, which we're at in the Porsche 992, racing against some AI, because I need to get some practice for that league event. Silverstone's not my most familiar track, if I'm honest with you. Of course, it's a very storied and historic track, but for one reason or another, it's just one I haven't spent a lot of time in ACC. As I'm thinking about it, I think I've only ever done maybe one other league event here, and probably a little bit of practice for that event, and that was it. I don't think I've ever done public lobby here. I don't think I've done LFM here. Just never tends to work out. So in a lot of ways, it's sort of a brand new experience for me. And it's kind of my worst style track, if I'm honest. These largely flat tracks that have... That was a wild move there. We won't do that in a league race. Hopefully ChatGPT is not too mad at me for that. But yeah, this is largely flat track. And not a lot of like natural landmarks or anything to kind of orient you and tell you where you are on the track and remind you of what's coming next. Instead, it's just complete memorization of the track. It might as well be like an autocross track set up with cones in a parking lot. Just gotta memorize it and get around it. So the AI is certainly at an advantage with someone like me being relatively new to it. Despite having quite a bit of time in ACC, like I said, it just hasn't really worked out to really perfect this track. So I don't think we'll be setting any lap records this go around. But maybe, by later this week we can have a nice, respectable time. Probably not at this rate, from what I'm seeing so far. You're seeing the the raw practice here. Missing apexes, missing shifts, almost killing people. The true sim racing experience. I think I can take this one in fourth, right? I don't think I need to go down to third there. Yeah, they just pulled away. Now, speaking of Silverstone not being super familiar to me, I don't think I've ever driven the Porsche here. If I remember, I think it was just the Ferrari, the 296 that I had driven here previously. And that car has got very different characteristics, especially, I'd say, on a track like this, where this 992 is really prone more to lift off oversteer, losing the rear end under braking. I think got pretty stable, pretty safe setup right now. Give everyone lots of room here. Don't need to be too naughty. Yeah, so far so good. Haven't completely lost it yet. As I go off the track there. Had to back out of it to save that one. Yeah, so far so good. Is this do I need to downshift there? Gonna have to remember all the little nuances of this track. Now this is also a bit of a test, this video. Not of my driving. I think I'm failing that test. But of kind of the recording quality. Because I have had these on-again, off-again issues recording ACC. And it's not the computer, necessarily. The game performance on my screen that I'm looking at right now is actually excellent. Well over 120 frames a second right now. But something in OBS, it's probably a configuration, encoder settings or something. It just really doesn't get the frame rate that I wanted to, and it's not the frame rate I get from Assetto Corsa AC Evo, AMS2, iRacing, all those other titles, which all look equally decent or run equally decent on the screen I'm looking at. Those ones all record just fine. So I don't know if ACC is doing something a little different. Is it a Unreal Engine thing? Is it just OBS settings? Am I an idiot? Yeah, let me know if you have done any recording of gameplay in ACC. What's the secret? Give me the secret sauce. I want these videos to look good. No one wants to watch a lousy looking, lousy sounding video, especially with these driving skills, it seems. Yeah, let me know in the comments. How's it look? And what are you doing to make it look even better? Oh boy. Our boy went for a ride there. I don't think we'll capitalize on that, but that's okay. Now, ACC is always a bit of a coming home for me after spending time doing other titles, and honestly, in a lot of ways, enjoying other titles or just finding them more interesting or novel in that particular moment. ACC was actually the first sim racing title that I ever picked up, even before I had wheel and pedals and whatnot. It was the first one I got. Just messed around with it on controller after watching some great YouTube videos and being blown away with how it looked, how it sounded. This seemed very immersive back then, and I had to give it a try, even on a controller, which, yes, kills the immersion. But that's okay. It got me a taste, and now we're hooked on this hobby, aren't we? That's got to be an off track, right? It's got to be an off track. No way that was legal. Did not give me anything. No warning there, so all right. We'll take it. Probably too naughty for league behavior. If the game will allow it, we can do it against the AI friends. Now, of course, one thing with ACC that we'd all love to see is just increased participation in the more competitive events. Yes, there's LFM. But in my experience, especially more recently, in my time zone at least, oh gosh, don't kill him. Don't kill him. In my time zone, which is Pacific, just isn't a whole lot of participation. And maybe you get a split, a couple splits, but it's just such a different experience from something like iRacing, where I can get, I've been doing the BMW M2, and there could be easily 10 splits. The racing is always going to be really good. No one's really going to run away with it. Maybe you get into the top split, and someone's in there with 6 or 7 KI rating, and that's kind of it. You're just not going to be able to compete with those folks, for the win. But still having a good time. Still feels good to race real close to people, and I would love to see that in these Assetto Corsa titles. I'd kind of hope that would be some big focus of AC Evo, and that doesn't really seem to be the case, of course. They are going more that GT7 route, and they're having their academy and progression system and buying cars with credits and whatnot. That's just a little bit different, and I think worthwhile in its own right. I think that could be really fresh and exciting, especially for a more sim-focused title compared to Forza and Gran Turismo. But it would be nice to have someone come try to eat iRacing's lunch. There is LMU, of course, but I haven't given that a shot yet. Maybe that's the next title on the list. I think that might be the only one I'm truly missing. That, and maybe some rally titles. I would love to find some maybe more chill titles, kind of get away from the sweatiness. Oh boy, you coming? Is he going? All right, here we go. I'd love to find some more chill titles to be able to, avoid the sweat and just sort of chill out. Still be on the rig, still have a good time, still be driving something, but maybe just like some open world cruising. Of course, I could do that in Assetto Corsa. And maybe we will do some of that. Do LA Canyons, or I've seen some wonderful new maps of some European cities that just look really incredible. Some great mods people are working on. This is probably a bad idea. Me and my bright ideas, huh? I think we might have found our position here. I don't think the leaderboard's on your point of view. We're currently in P8 out of 18, and it looks like, yes, the leader has just finished the race, so unless we want to be especially dive bombing, I'd say this is where we're going to finish, and that's okay by me. Maybe we get a run here. Good battle to the line between myself in P8 and T. Neubauer in P7. But anyway, that is it for this go around. Thanks for hanging out with me as I do some practice here at Silverstone, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.